What's up, guys? Welcome back to another FPL video. Today, let's talk about KDB replacements. De Bruyne and Vardy have been injured, which could impact a lot of our teams. I personally have De Bruyne, so I'll go over that first. But before we do that, let's look at Gameweek 19, and I think this is the highest score I've ever gotten. 132 points, very nice. The bench boost worked well, 21 points off of the bench. My transfer was terrible. I brought in Reece James, selling Tierney. Didn't work at all. I should have brought in Justin, obviously. But it is what it is. Reece James didn't start both games. Probably took an unnecessary risk. The Manchester United guys failed, but again, Kane is very reliable. And Stones, with some what I would consider lucky points, really helped out a lot of people, including me this week. And obviously, Antonio was great. And yeah, the Arsenal guys on the bench boost really made it work. So that puts me up to 12K overall, which is very nice. There's still a game to go today, the Aston Villa-Newcastle game. But I don't expect too much difference, although people do have Villa players, so I'm sure I'll go down a little bit. But moving on to this game week. So the team looks good as far as it goes for me, but the obvious candidate to get rid of is De Bruyne. He's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. That could be like 3 because we know De Bruyne does recover very well sometimes. But, these game weeks that he's missing are very good. And then he comes back for like Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, Manchester United. So that's not very good at all. So for me, it's a sell. And there are a lot of key options here that we have to consider because he's so expensive that we could basically get anybody. So I've pulled them up here on understat.com. And let's take a look at the stats. So I'll start off with expected goals per 90 minutes. Of some of these replacements that I've sort of made a short list of, and also De Bruyne is in here as well. Obviously, Son and Rashford are going to be top. Now, Son is somebody I'm interested in, but I'm probably going to wait till next week to bring him in, using another transfer with the money I get from my De Bruyne transfer. I already have Rashford, but if you don't have him, I don't think I would transfer him in now. He's only got one good fixture coming up. He did do very well against Sheffield United last time. Sheffield United, in the last 2 times, they've played Manchester United, I believe. They try to hold a pretty high line, and that has worked well for Rashford. He's had chances in behind and that sort of thing. That maybe the last 3 times they played him, actually. I don't remember, but they've had decent success doing that. They only lost 3-2 last time, so I would expect them to continue that tactic. That could hurt Bruno. He's still going to be my captain, I think. But Rashford is a good option for next week. But after that, I personally don't like him. There's just so much better options we'll get to here. Foden, over the course of the season, Foden's stats are better than Rashford's, besides actual goals and assists. It's only 0.2 less expected goals per 90 minutes, but he's got a decent amount more assists per 90 minutes, so expected assists, that is. So he's right up there. Obviously he's a rotation risk, though. So I personally would never go Foden. I don't think I could. He looked good, but he's not the final ball or the final shot. Gundogan is the guy I'm going for at the moment. I will probably make this transfer soon. His price won't go up right away, but it will go up pretty soon. He's nailed on at the moment. He's just got penalties. Now, Gundogan's a good penalty taker. This is a guy that made a penalty in Champions League final for Dortmund one time. And that's a big thing about penalties, obviously, is being able to handle the pressure, not just doing it in training. So I personally trust him as a penalty taker to make his penalties. And I think he will continue to take them without De Bruyne. He at least should. I'll say that much. He should take them. I mean, I'm sure if Jesus wanted to, he could take them off of him or something, or Mahrez, which Mahrez should never take a penalty again, but that's another story. But yeah, Gundogan's expected goals per 90 minutes is only 0.4 less than Rashford's on the season, and that's the whole season. You'll see all these people below Gundogan. I sort of put them on there just to show how good Gundogan's been over the course of the season. When I change to over the past month, you'll see how much better Gundogan's gotten in his recent form. And then obviously he's on penalties now. He's only taken 1, so that could be a huge boost. He's 5.5, and he takes penalties for Man City with his attacking threat already. I think it's pretty obvious. But we see Barnes, Grealish, Souček, and Maddison all have less expected goals per 90 minutes over the course of the season than Gundogan. Grealish notably has a really good expected assist per 90 minutes, but his teammates always miss the chances. I mean, if you watch the Aston Villa games, it's so frustrating because they always let him down with the potential assists that he gives out. But moving to the past month, and I do think that that Grealish could be a good option. He's the other person I would really consider besides Gundogan if you like the longer term fixtures. I personally don't love them that much. If we take a look at Villa, I don't have any Villa players, so I'll have to go back. So looking at Villa's fixtures, they have, so game week 20 they play Burnley. That's, Burnley have been defending pretty well. Just kept a clean sheet against Liverpool. Southampton haven't been bad defensively either. It's it's still just an average matchup. Then West Ham's average. Arsenal's not great. Brighton's good. So you look at the FDR, you don't see many reds here, but I still don't think they're that great of fixtures. But they do have what's his name back, Barkley, and that moves Grealish to the left side. So I do like Mr. Grealish. I think Grealish and Son are probably my next two options after Gundogan. But let's take a look at this expected goals per 90 minutes since oh shit, let me change this. Sorry, put in the wrong date. Since, let's go to December 15th. Let's see. So Son is the best, and this is one reason I would consider him. He's nailed on. He's a good finisher when he gets his chances. He's sort of dipped recently with that, but he's got a couple good fixtures. Like it alternates good and bad. He plays Liverpool this week, so again, I wouldn't bring him in this week. But next week, with this money we get, if we're going down to Gundogan or somebody like that, bring him in for Brighton, Chelsea, and West Brom doesn't seem that bad. Chelsea, who knows how they're playing then? Will Lampard be fired? That whole thing. But they haven't defended amazingly. Leicester just scored 2 on them, and obviously Brighton and West Brom are great matchups. And 3 good games for Tottenham is all they need for you to get some decent returns out of them. And then they play Man City, but then after the Man City game, it's still pretty good. And this is, the kind of player you could hold long term. So I think getting Son in soon could make sense, maybe even this week. But if we take a look at this, Gundogan is literally right behind Heung-min Son in terms of expected goals per 90 minutes. And that's only with 1 penalty that he's taken. And I'd say that's about what I would expect from the next 3 games. And, Man City could easily get a penalty. And that's Gundogan's really good fixtures here. His expected assists isn't great. If you watch the games, he has the occasional created chance or key pass, but it's typically just passing it horizontally across the box and somebody shoots. It's not like he's really De Bruyne and he's throwing in the crosses for the tap-ins or anything like that. And obviously De Bruyne, but we can see that Gundogan's had better chances than De Bruyne over the past 7 games. And that's all really you need to know, in my opinion. I think it's an obvious option. When somebody's so cheap, it's worth any risk that may come along with it. Obviously, with Man City, there's not that much risk besides rotation and the fact that De Bruyne is out and that could hurt their performance. And also, they haven't scored 5 a lot this year, as some people may still think of them in that light. But the rest of these options, I'm not too fond of. Souček really only has goal threat, no assist threat. Obviously, he's really cheap, though. Grealish, I expect a little more goal threat out of him with his position change, but we'll see what happens. He's somebody that I could bring in instead of Son next week. And Maddison, I'm honestly just not interested in. I think he's good, but he's really outperformed. The chances he's gotten, he really shouldn't have scored them, in my opinion. I don't think he'll be able to keep it up at this rate. He'll get some returns here and there, but I prefer Barnes over Maddison. But my top 3 would be Gundogan number 1, who I'm probably going to bring in this week. Then after that, I would say Son and Rashford. Son and Grealish would be tied. With Son, you're hoping that he takes advantage of the good fixtures that he does have. And with Grealish, you're hoping that his position change works. And you also have to rely a little more on Aston Villa being able to play well. Obviously, Tottenham are overall a better team than Villa, so there's a little bit less risk there, them not scoring any goals, that sort of thing. So my plan goes as follows. We have De Bruyne here, and that will go straight to Gundogan this week. Not that I necessarily have to make a transfer. But then next week, I have plenty of options here. Salah is somebody that I could bring into my team. I could go Rashford to Salah, which is something I'm interested in. I could just go Rashford to Son, and I think that may be the way to go. Or I could even do Souček up to Son if I really want to keep Rashford. I don't really see that happening, but Rashford does have decent fixtures. Arsenal, Southampton United, Everton, West Brom. But he's not somebody I would look to transfer in. I've also, I sort of want to transfer out Martial soon. He's on the left wing. I don't really like that. But there's not many great options there, especially with Vardy injured. I think the best way to go is Bamford. I know Leeds haven't looked great, but I think if you have Vardy, I think Bamford is the simple way to go. Calvert-Lewin is coming back soon, so maybe you wait a week and see what happens, and then bring him in from Newcastle and Leeds. That could be okay. But for me, I think Gundogan in, and then Salah or Son in. Probably Souček or Rashford out. Probably just a bunch of midfielder changes. I should go ahead and make this transfer now, but I'll probably make it later tonight. And then as far as captaincy goes, I'm sure I'll discuss this on the deadline stream. But it's really, unless you take a punt with Gundogan, because like I said, his numbers have been better, just as good as De Bruyne's really. Just not the creativity. But with Bruno, like I said, I don't love the tactical side of things for him this week, but it's still Bruno, and he could still obviously just get a random penalty, and he's a good finisher. He'll score a chance if he gets a big chance, most likely. I don't know, man. I'm tempted just to go with Bruno and just keep it simple. You see Bruno against Sheffield United, you go Bruno. That's where I'm at right now, but I'll have to look more into that. I had a big debate whether to play Holding or Kane, but I think I'm just going to go with Kane after Liverpool haven't looked great recently. But I think Holding is a good option. I really wouldn't have an issue playing Souček either. I heard that Crystal Palace give up a lot of headed chances. I'm yet to check it, though, but that's a big way to judge whether you think Souček will do well. But I don't know, man. I'm probably just going to get rid of him soon anyway, and I think I have better fixtures and better players. So this is the team up to 12K for now. We'll see how that goes. Let me know who you're getting for the De Bruyne replacement, because there are a lot of options out there, and obviously we're dealing with this whole price range of, you could even go down to Smith Rowe if you really wanted to. That's somebody I didn't point out, but if you're if you're just changing the whole shape of things, a lot of different things could happen here. But yeah, I will see you in the deadline stream, maybe a stream before then. But yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good game week.